What is up YouTube? It's Kingfisher745, and in this video we're going to talk about the most recent updates to the game. By that I mean mainly the huge changes to quick actions and the introduction of free actions. But before we begin, first let me say that this introduction graphic is a little bit over dramatic. But I had found this background, and the street or highway, or in this case road, led me to that phrase. Also, maybe Kurt's ability played into it just a little bit, at least subconsciously, and especially the fact that she somehow wasn't nerfed. Meanwhile, her partner in crime, Null, depending on who you talk to, was either deserving of everything he got, was rendered useless, or his demise is greatly exaggerated. The jury's still out on that one. He's definitely not as good as he once was, but he still may be useful. We'll just have to see. Sometimes it's a good thing to just step back and take everything in before we start to talk about it. That's one reason why I didn't make this video right away. My initial reaction was, of course, very negative. However, I wanted to give it some time, and in many ways I'm glad I did that. During the last few days, I've talked to many agents, received messages, comments, and concerns, and so now with this video, I can go ahead and show those concerns, and that will hopefully lead us down the path to correcting some of these issues. One of the first and major problems regarding quick actions is that after using one, we can't even use the second as a normal action. Basically what this means is there's no point in even equipping two on your bar, especially if they're items that you can use every round, such as the signpost and the weather control device. Now, not to be able to have both of those items on your bar at the same time and use them in any capacity together, well, that's just ridiculous. Granted, I do think this is something that will be fixed in the future. That's one thing I have to say about these changes. They are by no means done with their adjustments. One can only assume that this will be a long process, and there's going to be some stumbling along the way. However, allow me to play devil's advocate for a second. We knew there was going to be a lot of problems with these changes, and many of us were against them entirely. So if you never tried to make the changes in the first place, then you wouldn't have any problems. Savvy? Oh, but quick actions were out of hand. Well, there was a little debuff called Exhausted, and prior to the Tactician's Safeguard suit, it did the job just fine. So if the issue becomes being immune to Exhausted, well then, you never should have made that in the first place. And what's going to be next? Maybe agents will have a problem with follow-up attacks. So what should we do? Limit them to 1 per round per team? Never mind that we already have Winded or Combo Breaker. There's too many follow-up attacks, and we need to remove them from the game. And then the issue with granting extra turns. Are we going to stop Star-Lord and Quicksilver next or what? Basically, where are the devs going to draw the line? Are you just going to nerf every single thing that anyone complains about? Or should you have to bring in items and heroes to counter those teams? You know, maybe employ some strategy to deal with it. Maybe that's asking too much. But what I can ask is for the Revolt 5 to be fixed. And soon. This is a major concern of mine. It's supposed to operate by ammunition and you have 6 stacks. Yet since it's a quick action, you can only fire it once. Don't even think about reloading because it's going to take you 6 turns to even fire it the first 6 times. Oh, and if you use a quick action item like the Neurotrope, you can't even fire it once. This obviously has to be fixed, and I assume that they will. In fact, they're working on things right now and they've even canceled the next preseason. But you know what? While we get beat up a little bit more in this battle, let me read the quote-unquote general improvements regarding changes to quick actions and free actions. Maybe I should have started with this, but I'm going to go ahead and read it really quickly, and I'll also link it in the description below. So for anyone who wants to see the forum patch notes that hasn't done so, it will be linked in the description. Quick actions can only be performed once per round, and once it's been performed, a new affliction will be applied to the character called Stalled. This will lock out any quick actions on the character, preventing them from being performed. While exhausted, quick actions will become normal actions and function just the same as any action or ability without the quick action or free action special property. Okay, so when you read that, it does seem like they deliberately stop you from using multiple quick action items, even if you want to use the second one as a normal action. This practically ruins the empowered armors. and also the quick and powered ISO 8. So many of us won those items, or we even spent real gold or real money on them. Now they're all but useless. And we'll get back to this in just a second when we switch to our next battle. But next, when it comes to free actions, they're a new special property that will grant an extra turn after using the applied action. Any number of free actions can be performed in a single round, cooldowns permitting. Using a free action does not lock out any other abilities, but while exhausted, free actions will become quick actions and function just the same as an action with the quick action special property. So maybe this is why quick actions are broken right now, because with the introduction of this special property, they had to somehow limit them. Basically, it seems like by trying to make things less complicated, they may have made them more complicated, which many of us predicted. But hey, they went through with it, and somehow this is going to make their paying customers happy. This all brings me back to my final few points. But first of all, Squirrel Girl is somewhat broken, and I'll show you in just a second. And also Cable is another concern. After using Temporal Shift, which is a quick action, we cannot use his Techno-Organic Overdrive. This is one of those things I'm sure is being looked at, and will be fixed somehow in the future. But hey, we are kind of beta testing for them, so anything they may have missed, we might as well point out. Because of that, I invite you to leave any of your concerns in the comment section below. You can say whether you like the changes, or what you dislike, and what you think needs fixed or adjusted. But please keep it civil. That's really all I ask. Trust me though, I do listen to both sides of the argument, and I think it's important to understand where every agent's coming from. Sure, maybe at times quick actions did get out of control, like maybe the GG prototype and being immune to exhausted with the new Tactician's safeguard suit, but those items could have been nerfed directly. Instead, now we have things like this where we only get to use one nuts to this, and then you can't use it again, even though we still have acorn power. So this is yet another thing that needs fixed. Unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of work to do, and I have no idea how long it could take, but I wish the devs the best. Now, where I think agents are most upset, and rightfully so, is with the following. By limiting quick actions, at least how they currently stand, and with the stalled debuff, then a Tactician empowered agent with multiple quick action items and the quick empowered ISO 8 is absolutely dead, which I guess was their point. However, many individuals out there bought all of these different items. So just to illustrate, we have the Neuro Purge. It's a quick action debuff item. We have the Weather Control Device. That's another quick action item and the Neurotrope. We purchased all of these for 64 gold, yet we can only use one per round. Now if we knew that in advance, we would probably only get one of these. Otherwise, we're just wasting our gold. Now maybe you don't have any of these items, so you could care less. In fact, you're probably like, good riddance. But just try to see it from other agents' perspectives. Many agents saved up their gold, or even spent real money. Many didn't do this because they wanted an unfair advantage. They did it just to keep up with the next agent, or to compete in the very high-rated Adamantium League. Now, many of these players feel gypped, and just think, they're the ones that help keep the game going. Also, remember this, when it comes to items getting nerfed, oftentimes free items got it the worst. So the Vigilante Toolkit, the Psychic Amplifier, the Restored Lewis Machine Gun, the Brute, and so on. Oftentimes, farmable items get it the worst. These were items that everyone, even free players, could get, and it would help them compete. Now they're practically useless, and they just sit in your inventory, even though it took you a lot of time and effort to get. So my opinion is, nerf should be a last resort. There usually is always a way to counter someone or something. Oh, and that makes me think a funny thing about all of this is the one character I think everyone could agree on, Kurth, somehow avoided being nerfed. That's somewhat mind-blowing to me. But you know what? These are all my own opinions, and I'm not perfect. I do try to understand other people's problems, but I of course have my own bias. I'm definitely not super happy that I have all these quick action items, and right now really can only equip one. But if they can prove that it helps the game and draws in new players, which ultimately keeps the game going longer, then I'll be all for it. Until then, I'm going to give it some more time and try to keep my future judgments reserved. I hope the rest of you bear with me and bear with this game, like the changes or hate them. At least give it some time and see where it goes. And to the devs, I wish you good luck. I hope everything works out, but I do want to mention one more thing. Maybe, just maybe, you could give us all an awesome character, alternate costume, or some sort of multi-function weapon, just as a gift in good faith. A little kindness could go a very long way. And with that, I bid you adieu. Everyone, like I said, please share your comments and concerns in the section below. Also, leave a like and subscribe. Then until next time, good luck and take care.